What I'm doing here, what I done yesterday, on Sunday, I just made up that bracket. I just bolted it on there. So that will hold all the wiring for the back taillights and some of the side markers and the trailer plug. No matter what way I wired the truck, if I had it all good, this trailer plug on the last 3 trucks I had was down here, and the water used to splash up against it and push the water in behind it and rot the plug out. So now that I have it in a box and the back will be sealed, the only water will be coming in from the front here, hopefully drain out here. But it should keep it dry and stop it from arcing between each other and giving me problems. One of the other things I'm doing on this truck is the taillights are being bolted in here. At the back of the taillights I'm going to have a mud flap hanging down. I'm going to have it down, I'm going to put a full one on it probably, hanging all the way down, and it'll protect the spec frame just from getting covered in shit. So what I'm doing here now is mounting these lights, marker lights on the side. Just giving this a start here now. A few lines are empty, so it won't start probably. I've given it a small turn already. Leave that there. Right, my job for later on today is there's a new exhaust off for the truck. The head went bad on the truck. It after I serviced it, oil started pouring down the valve stem seals. When I took the head off, they were absolutely deteriorated. They was just falling apart. And the reason I took the head off, I knew I had to do it, but the reason I took it off was all the water from the reservoir went into the sump. The core plugs had rusted out because there was water in the engine, and it had just leaked all the water from the head into the engine. I had to take these off because they're just coated in oil, so I just want to wash all the exhaust out. And I need to do a bit of fabrication on this. This I think is the wrong bend on this, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to cut it, join it in and weld around it, just to make it a bit smaller, to make it fit neater around the silencer. So, but I have a bigger problem that I have to do first. I'll show you now. What's going on here now is really annoying, because that truck was supposed to go in for paint yesterday. Get the sides done. When I put the head back together, I didn't seal the fucking thermostat. I serviced it all, filled with coolant, and it was pissing rain. When I ran up to temperature, there was all water along the gasket, the head gasket down here. I thought there was something leaking in it. Then I went away that day. It was lunchtime, whatever, but it was pissing rain, so I stopped. Came back out the next day, which wasn't yesterday, it was the day before. I just sealed all that up. That got rid of that. I didn't have it cleaned properly and sealed right. Ran it up to temperature again, and slowly started seeping. I don't know if you can see that. There's a bit of water there on the gasket, and it's coolant, and it is coming out of here somewhere along down. And when I turn the truck off, it stops. When I start the truck up and it's flowing, there's pressure something in there. It's building up again. So my plan now is it's easy enough to take the head off this. It was a lot of work the last time because I had to pull everything out of it to get it sent away for getting worked on it. But this time all I have to do is I don't have to pull the injectors out around it, I don't think. I don't even have to take the fuel rail off, but I probably will just so it doesn't get damaged. But I'm just going to start stripping this down quick and see if I get lifted off and see what's going on in there. The way that head gasket is crushed, it's crushed on where it's folded over to join the two bits together. But the old head gasket was exactly the same. So I don't know if that just needs another little tighten down or not. That might have got rid of it. But I don't want to risk it. I just want to get it off. I thought it was these core plugs that were leaking. They looked a bit wet and they still do. But I gave them a good clean and ran the truck up again. And the water was just coming out of here. It wasn't running down anywhere. It didn't look like it anyway. So yeah, I'm just going to start stripping this off quick. I don't need to take the turbo or anything off. The last time I had to take all this pipework off, the radiator and everything, just to wash everything out, flush everything out. But I can leave all that on this time. All I need to do is try and save the coolant somehow to get it down a bit lower and get going on it. I got this head off. I didn't record taking it off because I had my daughter with me and I didn't have enough time to do a video on it as well. I left most of the stuff on it, the injectors and the feed tubes and stuff like that. And on the engine, like, I've left the turbo and everything still stuck on, so it's quick enough to pull that head off. I'd say I'd have it done in 30 minutes if I just went at it. It was leaking out of here, and I don't know if this is going to show up in this camera or not. When I pulled the head, this wire, there's a bit of wire sitting on top of it. Here, where all this coating is gone, this is where it was leaking out here, and I don't know if it was leaking out anywhere else down here, but it was running along this as well. So I don't know if that's an issue or that would have caused it, but I'm sure if that was sticking out a bit, it would. I'm gonna run this down to the engine shop anyway and show them that. And even if I have to pay for one, I'm just going to get a new head gasket, a new set of head bolts. And I'm going to get all the torque settings for the head gasket and the bolts, and not from the engine manual. And hopefully that'll make a difference. But I kind of do think that is it. If that was sticking out there, when the engine's running water, the pressure will push water out there. I'll leave that bit there now. This is roughly the way the exhaust goes, so I want to let's see, where does this exhaust go? I'm thinking about doing is just cutting this off here, sticking it together where it's still the radius of a circle and doesn't start elongating like an egg. And it's welded back, so the flow should be the same. And just it'll tuck this in a bit closer. That'll be easy enough to do. What I've done here is cut that bit off it, and just stitched up when it comes out of the silencer and hits this corner. It tips down a bit, so it's pointing down to the ground a small bit. It looks a bit pointy there, but on the inside, maybe you can see that. So yeah, just going to weld that up. Done a bit of work over the week. I'm kind of ready to do the wiring, but I want to get all the jobs out of the way before that was done. Ended up painting the sides blue, and I want to put these taillights on. This has to be painted. That's only done roughly. It's only wire brushed and that's hammerite. I sprayed it on. It's fairly good. I want to do the wire in here and get everything up, but I'm going to fix this now because I want to get this kind of painted as well. I'm doing all the painting. I just pulled this bracket off. The bottom bit was broke. I'm going to do in here is just making up the bit that's missing on the bottom is here. I'm just going to cut this, and then I'm going to have another bit that folds down the front like this, and I'm just going to actually weld it straight to the spec frame on the bottom, and I'll bolt the top again. I should never be servicing this again, but if I have to, it'll only be a few welds. I'll just cut them off. Yeah, so I'm just going to get on with that. Yeah, I got a bit carried away. Took that out just to see what this was. So this is a nylon mat that goes all the way back and it's just worn out. I was wondering what it was. So all I'm going to do is replace that with steel. I would like to just knock these out and put this on top of the steel. I might do that, but I think it might just slide out then. I might do that, and all I'm going to do here is put a washer between these, have the space of a washer, and go from there. Just going to weld that up. Right, I was ready to start the wiring on the back on Tuesday, but I had to do a lot of paint and a small bit of fabrication just to get there. It's now Friday, so I painted the two side rails and the back and put all the lights on bolted. So before I start wiring the back now, I kind of want to get rid of all the bits up the front that could be causing trouble. They wired, this is the front headlight, so they wired in the bar that goes along here, and they just took a wire from there, and these are all broken. And I just want to go in and tidy all this up and try and get this wired in nice and neat. And the bar, when it goes back here again, I'm going to take the wire from one of the side marker lights and just run that up. You can't run that. I'm just going to strip all this back and just see what I'm left with. Oh, that's just... If that's neat enough, I could probably leave it. I'll just see how it goes. Alright, I'll leave that there and I'll just get back when I have it done. Okay, it's been a couple of months since I've done this thing. I just spent the last week on this truck to get it going. I think I have most stuff done. I didn't record really any of it. I just wanted to get it all done. In fact, the only thing left here is the spec lift. And then I'm just going to do brakes. All the wiring is done on it. And just a couple of little things. The wiring I done on the front left headlight. I was missing some wires and it was all chewed up, and I went to breakers and I just got a whole loom. So I'm just going to rewire that in, get that done. When I start the truck up, power keeps feeding into my reverse lights. I spent a day on that, I think, rewiring. I've done it 3 different times. I wired my own wire in. I think it's the reverse light switch in the gearbox is gone. So I'll be changing that. And the last wiring problem I have are my wipers. The window wiper motor, if anyone knows, is there a relay in it or is it in the motor that when I put it onto intermittent, it doesn't work? When I put it onto full, it works. But when I turn it off, it stops wherever I turn it. It doesn't go back to start position. I was in the breakers, I picked up another motor. I just threw the motor in to see was it actually in the motor, unless that motor's gone as well. But if anyone has that problem, I know I had it in my last DAF as well and I never fixed it. What the issue is, unless it's wire and a bit of weld maybe got in the wiring, but I don't know. I have all my roof lights done except for the front. So everything works there now at the moment. I'm putting spotlights at the front and 2 more flashing beacons, but that'll be later on whenever the truck is rolling. I have tail lights and brake lights in there as well. So I think what I'm going to do today now, it's going to be dry here for most of the day. So I'm going to just pull this out. This spec lift is going to get reworked again later on, but I'm just going to give it a quick wire wheel. I'm going to red oxide, I'm going to the whole lot of it. And then I was either going to use machinery paint, but I might use 2K. and just seal it up properly. So I'll either be changing the spec lift or else I'll be making my own ones of these. I don't think this will work on cars now. Yeah, but I'm just going to get this done so it's done, ready and painted. Just has to be rough. Doesn't have to look right. I brought the truck for a spin down the road. I wasn't going to wire in my work lights, but I brought the truck for a spin down the road and I tried to turn it in a 20-foot gap. I haven't driven in 2 years, so kind of fucked that up. So I thought I'll wire in my work lights. So I have the work lights there wired in. 2 of them. There's one on the side. And then for my reverse lights, I have them hidden up under there. So when you're walking around, you can't see them. They won't be blinding you. Add that in. I think I've showed that already. My winch, I meant to record this, but I didn't. The solenoids were there for a wireless winch. I just hooked 12-volt up to it, and they all worked. So I deleted all the emergency stops, the air emergency stop and the electrical emergency stop. I'm going to have to re-put them back in again, but I just need to find that one. I can find for the electric one, but the air emergency stop, I need to find one of them if anyone knows where to get them. I haven't really looked too good, but and I need to find one of them. And I took all the air, where Roger and Dyson wired all that air solenoids and air ran in under the cab to the fuse box. I took that out as well, just to try and stop air leaks. So I'll just wire it in there. And I lost a lot of the feeds. I had 24-volt coming down here, and it went when I wired everything up. I just bought a 40-euro remote and receiver, and it worked fine there. But I've it powered through my tail lights. So once I have my lights on, that remote powers up. I might change that in the future. Let's see how it goes, in case it warms up or something like that, but it shouldn't. Yeah, so I'm just going to get this painted now, see how that goes.